it's our ego that doesn't want to sell a stock, because selling the stock at a loss is an admission that you were wrong to buy it in the first place. And you have to get your ego to a place where you can deal with that, and that you can put your hand up and admit to it's so much harder to admit to myself that I've been an idiot than actually I find it to admit to other people, if I'm totally honest. But naturally, I'm quite a perfectionist, and I think because of what we went through in COVID and the time that we were living through, I wanted to provide for myself. You know, I lived alone. I'd gone through a divorce a couple of years beforehand, and I wanted to be the best person for me and provide for myself and invest in the right stocks and look towards retiring early, and all the way back to the beach when I was 23 reading that book, thinking like, yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire, woo, to, you know, that present day and thinking, Amy, you couldn't have made a bigger cock up of this. Like, what are you going to do?
When I was in my early 20s, I was in a relationship, and the individual that I was in a relationship with told me that she was going to inherit millions of pounds. And she said, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire and I need someone to help me manage it. So do you want to do that with me? And I was like, fucking, this is sick. You know, early 20s, met this person. She's going to be rich. I can quit my job. So I quit my job. There was no money. It was just a lie. And I sat on my ass for a year, not admitting to myself that it was a lie, even though I knew it was, waiting for this money. And in that time, I built up all this debt. I didn't pay anything. And I remember the day that I spoke to my uncle, actually, and he was like, there is no money. Like, you need to get out of this situation. And that was like the hardest day, because as long as the liars keeps going, you don't have to admit to yourself that you've been an idiot. And you would rather just keep the lie going than go. It's almost like you've been born afterwards, or like the air was like cleared out the room, and it's like, oh, now I'm in the cold, dark world on my own. So, you know, I went through something similar in that sense.
I'm lucky, you know.
Yeah, that's it. It led me here. It led me here. So honestly, everything that I am right now is because of that moment. And this is why when I said to you before, it's the making of you. You're kind of forged in that fire. And I think everyone has to go through it. And I know it's an awful, traumatic experience to lose money, not once, but twice. You know, you feel like a fool every way round, right?
Yeah.
You'll find that like the wisdom that you gain from it in years to come will make you infinitely more money. And I think to make those mistakes in earlier life rather than at 60. You see people that make that mistake as they're about to retire. They transfer their retirement to a scammer on a phone because they've never been unlucky enough but fortunate enough to take the knock in their early portion of their life. Do you know what I mean? So I think you'll see it as a blessing long term.
I do now. Overall, I'm really grateful for the experience that I went through because of all the reasons that you just highlighted. It has made me a better investor. And it's made other areas of my life improve because of the lessons that I've learned around who I am and how I behave and why I behave that way. To be mindful of that is I think, really puts you in a position of strength.
That was a clip from a conversation we had with an audience member called Amy, who was kind enough to come on and share her investment journey. She's an absolute legend. You can watch the whole episode right here.